Hey there, Tiphanie, Jamison here, holder of a front page spot of Google and Bing for leverageable income, author of some books, and that should be on your screen somewhere, and attorney and other stuff. Okay, so I wanted to create a video about how you can create what I call snack products that can be created and sold in the next 24 hours. So I'm gonna go over to my desk right now so that you can see my screen instead of looking at me, and I will meet you there. I'll see you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Snack products, information products that can be easily created over snacks. Now, there are those of you who are healthier eaters, healthy conscious or health conscious, right? And so I have some snacks for you right there. And then for those of us who have a more complex diet, there's some, other stuff mixed in with pretzels, and I love pretzels. They are my all-time favorite snack. Okay, so how many times have you had an idea for something, but you never get around to it, right? Like you're probably talking to a friend or a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a cousin, sister, maybe even a colleague, and you're like, oh man, I should package that, right? I mean, it could be something even if you're talking to or had an experience with human resources or at the DMV, things pop in your head and you go, I wonder if everybody else knows about this, or, I should tell people about this. I mean, it could be even something about how to have a checking account if you have bad credit, like all these different things that you think, oh man, I should package that, or I could sell that, or something like that, even if it's just a twinkle of an idea, right? But you never get around to it. And pretty soon, days and weeks go by and nothing happens, right? And maybe you tell someone about it, and then suddenly you see your idea floating around with someone else's name on it. Because it has happened to all of us, and it sucks. Well, snack products sort of alleviate that because they can be completed over a snack. It's almost, as soon as you get that idea, you can create them. Snack products are awesome. That's why they get the badge of awesome. Now if you hear children screaming in the background, it's just the natives, and no one is dead that I know of. Okay, so fun fact, information products and e-learning, $120 billion industry plus, and it's growing every year. And the more online stuff we do and use, the more the industry grows, right? And people think that it's just about like making money online and stuff like that, and you would be totally wrong. That's not the case at all. Some of the fastest growing niches, and I don't really like that word, are like cooking, dating, and there's a reason for that, right? Because it all comes back or ties into our humanness. And if you haven't checked out the Yay Money Validator training, then do check that. I'm like winded right now because I just ran up the stairs after chasing a child down the stairs. Okay, now do you know how easy it is to make money online selling big solutions that come in tiny little packages? Now, this is not to suggest that you couldn't create like a huge snack product, right? I mean, after all, you could do a live stream and turn that into a snack product, right? The video could be like an hour or two, and then you delete it, or if you're on Instagram, it automatically, expires, and then you can sell that particular training. Now, I'm talking about literally a nugget that you are walking around with that you can put into digital form over a few snacks. And that little, digital form snack thing could solve a problem for someone else and put money in your pocket. Now, this is no fuss, no hype, just solve a problem and get paid. Now, the cool part is that you can continue to make money long after you created it. And I'm a fan of that, right? You set it up and you move on. Leverageable win-win income. And we know that I am #1 on Google for leverageable income. Just saying. Now, FYI, if you want to get access to these slides, please love it, like heart it, and then share this video and message me and let me know that you did, and I will get you the slides. Now, here's a disclaimer and some douche repellent, and douche in the Netherlands means shower, so for my European friends, I don't mean douche like shower. I mean, yeah, like person who's just like scummy and horrible and not cool. Here's a disclaimer. You know, we practice rad hippoyatic money here in the Yay Rad community. We give value in advance. We create win-win income, so we're not out to hurt anybody. We want to make sure that people get benefits from what we do. We make money while building our authority and differentiation. Don't be a douche. Create, not compete, right? We don't have to go out and compete. We just create something awesome and we'll make it so that no one else can copy us, or even if they tried. Have fun and be you. We are BS intolerant. Like, we love to laugh and have fun, but we're not about that shady, you know, coach and cesspool stuff. Be original, and yeah, business karma is real. Hence, why we don't do any of that BS. Now, for those who are more interested in the more legal terms, here's the disclaimer. You know, everything I'm going to teach, you know, it's just my own experience. I'm not guaranteeing any results. I am not saying you will be a millionaire in the morning. I'm not saying you'll be a millionaire next week. I'm not saying that you will be half a millionaire next week. Okay, like, to be clear, this is just sharing my own experience and stuff like that. Okay? Okay, so again, if you want access to my slides, comment and share and share the love, and then go to yayblast.com/slides. All right. Now, to be clear, snack products or any information product coming out of the Yay Rad community, they are not, I repeat, not shiny, hokey, flash in the pan products, buggy software built by bootleggers that promise push button riches with no work or no anything. Like, we don't do that here. We don't offer useless theory or ideas that sound good but don't work in the real world. Anybody who can tell you, like, I am my own guinea pig. So, like, I try it out on myself because I won't hurt me if I get it wrong. We don't do spammy loopholes that will go the way of Blockbuster when the loophole is closed. And for somebody like, who's Blockbuster? Exactly, just saying. The same old rehash techniques everyone else has failed with. We don't do that, and we don't offer circa 2009 information. Now, some stuff is like based on years of research, like brain psychology or brain science, and you know, buying psychology, that sort of thing. That stuff is like about humanity, not about some, you know, technique. Okay. Now, a scammy pie in the sky, get rich quick. Nope, we don't do that here. Think result, okay? Because remember, win-win income. We want people to feel good about, you know, working with us on our products and our services and everything else, right? In the Yay Rad community, we talk about SIR, right? Speed, implementation, and results. So you want to solve a specific problem with a specific identifiable end result. Now, chances are you're thinking, but Tiff, why would someone pay me when they can just get an answer for free if they search the internet? Number one, well, sometimes people don't know what to search for. And it can be very overwhelming. And we've all been there, right? Like, you get like a ton of information. Like, if you Google like how to make money online, can you imagine like all of that stuff pops up? You don't know what's a scam. You don't know what's real. You don't know if you can trust those people. You don't know if those are real people, right? The Russians are coming. I mean, like everything. It's like so much stuff. And then what happens is people start to overanalyze and they get paralyzed, and or they get taken advantage of, which sucks too. And they end up getting things that they don't need or isn't really useful for them. And next thing you know, they're spending, you know, $5K on a photo shoot when that has nothing to do with how to actually make money online. Unless you're a photographer or something, then maybe that would make sense. Or you need headshots for being an actress or something. But that's not the case in 99.99999% of the cases, right? It's just so much stuff that you just stop and you do nothing. Also, you get conflicting information, which is also a drag, and none of it is like based on someone else's personal experience. So, you know, a lot of times I see a lot of so-called big name gurus, or even just big names wannabe gurus, that are using PLR. And I'm a fan of PLR, and if you don't know what that is, that's private label rights. Like, I'm cool with people creating and using PLR. But then they hold themselves out as this, person who's an expert, but they're just using very general information, right? And it's not what they're using in their own business. So when I say use a quiz, I can point to the quiz that I coded, right? You know what I mean? Like when I say use this template, I can show you where I use this template to hire the people who work for me, right? So these are actually the things that I use and or I use with my clients. So it's not some just random stuff, right? And more importantly, we all want the human touch. If you want to have like gastric bypass or something, and you could talk to the doctor and the doctor will tell you, okay, this is what's going to happen, this is the procedure, whatever. But if you could talk to someone who actually had gastric bypass and she could give you or he could give you like tips and tricks, or, if you're a caregiver of someone who had gastric bypass or someone who had complications from gastric bypass, and they could give you tips and tricks and healing ointments and different things, that's what you would want, right? Because that person has a unique perspective of actually, going through your particular problem. And so that's why people will pay to get the human touch. We're all humans in the end. And that's why YouTube, I think, in a lot of ways is really popular when people show like the behind the scenes of their lives, because then you feel like, oh, okay, I know you. Like, I've been there. I've had those kids. I've done it, right? So think of snack products like a little snowball that you roll in your hand, and as it rolls down the hill, it grows, right? And the big snowball is like your bank account. With snack products, you can take these little guys, and even if you're selling them for like $20, if you sell 50, you've made yourself $1,000. Now, even if you sell, let's say, 4 a day, if you have 4 or 5 different snack products and you're selling 4 of those a day, that's easily $100 a day. You've hit $100K a year, right? And it didn't take you all kinds of crazy time to create it. You didn't have to go and get a launch coach. It's just... Now, here are 10 reasons why snack products are the bee's knees. 1, they're simple to get started. Like, you don't have to do hundreds of hours of research. Chances are you already know everything you need to know about a particular problem, right? You've probably lived it, watched it in your house or something else, and you can share your experience. Right, so there's no experience required. It doesn't require like you hire a writing coach, like all of this other stuff you don't need, right? You're just sharing your experience, right? You don't need to be a good writer. You don't need to be particularly great on video. You don't need to be particularly great other than telling your experience, right? Sharing your own or interviewing someone else if that's what you choose to do. And we're going to get into the different types of products that you can sell shortly. In fact, in certain situations, you don't even have to write anything at all. So there's like no pressure, right? These babies are win-win. Like, you can solve a problem without having to write anything or write very little. And there's a resource that you can use, and there's like 5 or 6 that you could actually use to create products without writing, or writing a lot, let's say. Now, they also work in virtually any business, industry, hobby, or niche. Now, I know, like literally, and I know people are like, oh no, my business is different. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's just not. Every business needs to be making money, even nonprofits, or else they have nothing to give to the people that they are seeking to help. It just works, whether you're a dentist, whether you're a doctor, it just doesn't matter. What's even cooler, if I can say that, is it doesn't even have to be necessarily in your profession. You can be, and I teach in the Yay Blast Money Method training, you could be a matchmaker or you can be a solution suite creator, and they're 2 different things, right? You could just have a love of skydiving and you just want to, maybe you work as an orthopedic surgeon, right? But you love skydiving, so you can talk about skydiving. You don't necessarily have to create something around being an orthopedic surgeon, right? And yeah, so just, get that out of your mind, right? You just need to find problems to solve for people. And yes, it works, in just about, I have yet to find an industry that creating some type of snack product and or information product would work for. Even if it's like a chamber of commerce, you could create a cheat sheet and then sell that cheat sheet to the chamber of commerce and license it to them. I know, right? I mean, the possibilities are endless. It's also flexible, right? You can do these anywhere. Like if you're waiting in the car for your kids, you can whip out your phone, record a little audio, bam, snack product, right? For me, I walk everywhere, so I'm rarely in the car, but I've had occasions where I'm waiting for the native girls to get out of school and like sent notes to myself and then came back and like worked on that. So totally flexible, location free. And again, it could just be like a live training, like a Facebook Live or Instagram Live, Periscope Live, right? Or Twitter Live. And you just get on there and talk, and then you download the video, delete it from the public, and then sell the replay. That's a snack product, okay? Don't get caught up in thinking that it has to be like this major thing, because it doesn't, right? Now, you can choose, you could either be like behind the scenes or you can be like up front. Now, for some people, building a reputation or being seen as an industry expert, it just really isn't a priority. Like maybe you love your job as a principal of a school, and that's totally cool, right? That doesn't mean you can't make money other places and share value and solve problems in other areas. Perhaps you've had a bad marriage that you were able to revive and you want to share your experience with that, but without having to put yourself out there. You totally could do that. You could use a pen name and it totally create a whole line of products around that particular topic using your pen name. It's legal and you still make money, right? Still solving problems. Okay, now again, in the Yay Blast method, I show people how to do this, how to be a matchmaker or a solution suite creator. You get to choose, which is even cooler, right? There's crazy high profit margins and turnaround. You could start in the morning and be done at night, which is awesome. And, you know, get it up if you don't want to sell it on like your own website or something like that, or then you could reach out to like the chambers of commerce, associations, you know, people that you already know, maybe another person who's already in your industry, and you know, and they can help you promo it. You can get it on a third-party platform, which I'm a fan of if you're just starting out, like Skillshare, Udemy, and I think they take maybe a few days to approve it if you're on a third-party platform. But if you've already been approved as an instructor, then you can get this done really, really quickly, right? And I mean, you can start posting on Instagram, and this is the problem that I solve, and you know, you can reach out to influencers, as they call them, on YouTube or Instagram, and tell them about your product. If you're using like the interview format, you know, they will happily share stuff where they've been interviewed, right? Who doesn't want to be interviewed? It's a great positioning tool, and that's a way that you could do it. So it's crazy high profit margins. It costs you nothing to create, and then everything else is profit. So even if it's $20, that's $20 that you just made, and it costs you nothing to create it. Like even if you had cupcakes, you had to buy the ingredients. Here, you have a computer, chances are, you have a phone, you have the internet, and even if you don't have the internet, you can go to the library and use their internet, right? Now, number 6, self-controlled multiple streams of unlimited income. My personal favorite. Your earning potential is unlimited with information products. The sky is like literally the limit, right? And it works for you 24 hours a day, 365 days, or a leap year, and you're constantly making money. Like I have a friend that I grew up with. She sings on cruises. Now, if she could, I mean, she could create a product around how to get booked on cruises, right? Because there are a lot of struggling musicians who would love to have some income and be able to travel. And she could totally put together a whole little thing around that. She used to be a Vegas showgirl. That's kind of cool. Okay. Number 8, there's global market reach. I'm in the Netherlands. Chances are you're in America or Canada, and you're still able to listen to this video. I mean, you know, Facebook and Instagram and all these different resources, it has changed the game, and you know, people are able to grab these products from anywhere, and that's really, really cool. Fun. They are fun to create because there's like no pressure, right? It's a few sheets of paper or one audio or a cheat sheet. You get to use software. Like there's, you know, they're fun to create, and I find that once I create one, I already sort of know what the next one is going to be, because that one sort of lends itself to the next thing. Yeah. And number 10, also important, if you're in business, you need buyers, right? Not just people who like your stuff and double tap and, oh, I love you, you're so great, but then don't buy, right? Because you can't take that you're so great to the bank and pay your mortgage or buy your kids some clothes. I've tried. No, I'm just kidding. But buyers buy. So you want to have people in your circle, in your community that buy stuff. You want action takers. Now, will all my clients buy every single thing I put out? No, but because it might not be something that they need right then. But what I can say is that if you're putting out products that work or that, can get a result that your community find value in, they will continue to buy from you, right? So keep that in mind. You want to have a community of buyers. It is always better to have a community of buyers than it is, and buyers it doesn't mean that they have to buy your high-end stuff, but if, buyers buy. Once they buy one thing, it's a greater likelihood that they'll buy something else, right? And you want to have a community of buyers and action takers. And buying just represents taking action. Like, people are willing to take action and invest in themselves. And not like in the cliche, coaching cesspool-y way, right? But it's just really like, I see value here. I need this, and I'm going to take action on it, right? Okay, and here's a bonus reason why these are so great. You can bundle these bad boys, and then you have a whole nother revenue stream, which is really cool. And I support all revenue streams, as many as possible, because I have many, many kids. All right, so here are at least 16 snack products. These are short, powerful nuggets of goodness that sell like hotcakes. Cool? Okay. We have cheat sheets, checklists, summaries, spreadsheets, audio training, planners, interviews, live streams, journals, tip sheets, frequently asked question sheets. And I know you guys are like, what? Yes, you totally could put that together. Reworked PLR, that's private label rights. That's when someone else wrote it and then you're like rewriting it or tweaking it for your business. Repurposed content, stuff that you already have in your back pocket or on your desktop or laptop or what's it called, iPad? Do you put stuff on your iPad? I don't know. I don't have Apple. Product reviews and resource lists. Product reviews are great, and people sleep on these all the time. People will pay for product reviews, yeah? And you could really do something cool, especially like if you're an affiliate of a supplement or a makeup brush or, something like that. And you put together like a whole resource thing, or like you review the product and you say, here's some alternative products, and you do some compare and contrast. People love that because then they don't have to. Right, and then you can offer like an alternative. Okay, if you don't want that, here's the alternative, and you could sell that for $7, and then you put at the back of the book or the back of the PDF, you have some links to some other things, or if they want to work with you further, or it's almost like think Amazon. If people bought this, they also bought this, right? Very cool and easy to do because we all got something to say about something. All right, so. My client Carlos, he created like a resource snack product. He sold it for $20, and he sold 50, and he made $1,000. And like, what's really cool is like that's recurring for him now because of how we did the licensing, right? So you can do that, and I think it took him like 8 hours or something. I don't know. I can't remember exact time. I have to pull up my emails, but it was a very quick little snack product that you're like, oh my gosh, I totally could have done that. And yes, you totally could have. Now, one of my favorite products for newbies are summaries. And summaries are great because if you are nervous about writing, you don't actually have to write. So we support that. If you have existing content, that you want to, can chop up, I call this the slice and dice. You can create a summary as a nice little low-end offer to start building your list of buyers. Because remember, buyers buy. So 100 buyers is 1,000 times better than 2,000 freebie seekers, right? Because they're just on your list. I self-host, but a lot of you use autoresponder services like Aweber, GetResponse, and different things. And they charge. So those people are sitting on your list costing you money and ain't buying nothing. Like, what? Like no, right? So, so let's say you already have like a book that you've written, and or you have a sort of a book that you've written. You could simply go to a website like summary.com without the vowels, upload your content, and then it'll give you a summary, and I'll show you a screenshot of that now. Now, if you have a URL, you could take the URL and put the URL in there, and it'll kick out a summary. Now, be warned, do not be doing that stuff, taking other folks' URLs that isn't like public domain and using it, okay? Like, you could do it, create like awesome things with a lot of public domain or PLR and that sort of thing. But I mean, don't be going to my website trying to grab a URL and summarizing that, because I will come for you. Okay? Alrighty then. Now, here's the website. What's really cool, summary.com. You can put like how many sentences you want it summarized in, or you see there's an upload a file, or you could also just paste the URL there, like if you have an old blog post or something. So, I mean, you don't even really want to have to do it. Just put that bad boy in there, right? Or if you bought the rights to someone else's blog post or something like that. Or if you're using chamber, like if you're working like with chambers of commerce or associations, and there's so many associations, then you can take their links that they say, well, we would like a summary for this, and you can throw it in there, and then, bam, right? Now you have a summary that you can clean up and you can start selling. Now, if you wanted to get fancy, and by fancy, I mean add value where you can add charge more. You can add an audio MP3 using Audacity, which is also a free tool, and or use your cell phone, right? Because there are some killer mics on these cell phones, man. And you're good to go. You could also teach a live stream on the summary, right? Like you could use the summary for your slides and then use the video and make the video only available as a paid replay, or as a part of your membership site or something like that. People do that all the time. You could teach the content and then offer the summary for sale as a worksheet, right? I know. I mean, the possibilities are crazy endless. And if you aren't sure where to begin, I'm going to give you like a sort of a framework for putting together your snack product, right? Okay, so first you want to start with your specific identifiable problem. So you say the specific identifiable problem that I'm solving is, and it needs to be one problem, right? Don't be giving people the history of Shakespeare, right? If you're just doing a summary on understanding Macbeth's character, right? Or I don't know, because I'm not really into Shakespeare. If you just want to do, like, say you have to do, or students have to do an analysis for how to understand Shakespeare's Juliet or something, right? Then that would be the specific identifiable problem, right? For me, if I wanted to create a snack product on simply passing the written portion of the California State Bar exam, like there's like where we get like a canned thing, a canned client, so to speak, then that would be the specific identifiable problem. I would even go even further, how to pass the writing portion of the California Bar exam when you have failed before and aren't a good writer. Do you see how specific that is, right? Okay, and then the solution I would offer would be a cheat sheet or some tips or tricks or whatever that I use to actually get past that problem. Or if you are interviewing people who pass, then you can compile those tips and tricks, right? And then you can say the people I will offer the solution to. Now, it is so important that, and I teach this in the Yay Money Validator, like having targets and making sure there's more than one target in a particular group, right? So for me, people who want to pass the bar, the group is pretty broad, right? Because you have your first-time test takers, your second-time test takers, you have your night schoolers, right, who have families, you have single moms, you have like all of these people are taking the California State Bar. And considering the fact that it's one of the hardest bars to take, and by bar, the bar is a state exam you have to pass in order to practice law in California. Okay, just to be clear. So it really is like endless. You have people who are coming out of state who are taking the California bar. You have people who are coming from foreign countries to take the California bar. So there's like enough people in that pool to be able to, hit them with some how to pass the bar stuff, right? or the writing portion, and you have to pass it. And that stuff is hard. I almost slipped and cursed. All right. So then you would say, okay, and this is the solution that I'm gonna, the next part, I'm sorry, would be my hook, right? So what's my hook? My hook is, you know, how I pass the bar after failing, right? Okay, so that's the hook. And then the format. Okay, is this going to be a cheat sheet? Is it going to be an audio? Is it going to be a live stream? You know, however you're going to do it, right? And then next steps. What do I want them to do next, right? Do I want them to contact me, like after they're going to purchase your product, right? So they get this particular result. So what do I want them to do after that? Do I want them to contact me? Do I want them to just disappear? Now, again, in the Yay Money Validator, I talk a lot about making sure that you have next steps. That's how you know you've like picked the right target, so to speak. However, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that. You can just solve the problem, right? Because, yeah, you just move on to the next thing if you choose, okay? So there you have it. Snack products, yay! So go and share this video and make sure you message me and let me know so that you can get copies of these slides if you choose to have them. You have to be able to, you have to share the video in order to do that though, okay? And then go to yayblast.com/slides, and yeah, there's the information, and yeah, okay. So for those of you who are like, okay, I've talked to you about these trainings, the Yay Blast. You can get 60% off by using the coupon code BLASTOFF if you want to do that. And the Money Validator is on the website, and it's also on the Facebook page. Now, if you want, because you watched this video, just message me and let me know, and I'll shoot you a coupon code, because that's how I roll. You know, I value you, I appreciate you, and it's good stuff. I want you to have it. So, yeah, just message me directly, and I will get you a coupon code. Cool? Okay. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.